Kia ora, guys. Reader the Kiwi here, and once again we're back in to some Final Fantasy 14. We're level 6, currently level 69. Nice. And I scheduled the stream thinking that just before the stream, me running a leveling and MSQ would get me enough to get me to just shy of a level, so that our class quest will then get us to 70 and we can do all the story all in one go. Well, the thing is, I clearly greatly overestimated how much experience I'll get, and underestimated how much I needed. So all the class quests until 70 probably won't actually get us all the way there. In fact, it'll probably only get us halfway there. So we're probably towards the end of the stream also gonna have to probably just spam dungeons to just get the last bit of XP. Can't even really do fates either, because well, we could do 5 more fates. Do fates for spamming. Could also potentially do some levy quests, but other than that, we've pretty much tapped out of all our other ways of getting XP quickly. But that's something to worry about towards the end of the stream. For now, let's just continue the story where we're up to. The antagonist from the last series of quests. We thought we had defeated him. Before it turns out an Ascian was aiding him, and we defeated him, and we thought that was that, but turns out he was supposedly spotted, person matching the description, but also in black robes. So what I'm thinking, because we all know Ascians can possess bodies and all sorts of stuff, change their look and whatnot. I'm thinking what we're dealing with is not actually the same person, but rather the Ascian taking his form. But we will just find out. Alright. Dancing Wolf awaits your return, a grave expression upon his features. Auspicious timing, Teru. There's been news. And none of it good. Our soldiers in central Thanalan have reported another attack. I looked over the notes for the initial investigation, and it would seem Tristan, or someone who looks very much like him, has struck again. I'll have one of my men contact Yamitra with the details, but I suggest we head out to Nanawa Mines immediately and question one of the surviving victims. Alright, let's go. Filtered mine. What do you mean more questions? I've spilled me tale to three different soldiers already. Me work gets further and further behind every time I gotta stop and talk to you folk. Here's an idea though. How about you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours? That big lad in the uniform there looks like he could lift some good sized rocks. Oh, whoops, I went through it. Now just a moment, sir. We don't have time for these distractions. Then maybe I don't have time to talk to you. Not until there's a little give and your take. I think the other thing probably was something for me to do. I fear he means to be stubborn about this, Teru. Please humour the man and retrieve his precious ore from the Spriggans. Okay, so I need to go get Spriggans. I accidentally skipped through that dialogue. Spriggans scratching. Oh, there was one thing I was supposed to do. Like that. Not much, but might help a bit. Though I don't seem to gain combat XP from this. Last one is probably up here, right? There it is. Dun, 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 dun. Right. You find the Spriggans, lass? What about me, Fire Silver? There you go. Oh ho, you got the whole lot back. Much appreciated. My apologies. My studies took rather longer than I... Captain Wolf, is everything alright? Everything's fine. Now, let's hear your story, sir. Aye, I reckon you've earned it. Well, we was in the mine loading the carts with our haul for the day when this bloke in robes appears. Doesn't say a word. The bastard just snaps his fingers and sets his pet demon to lighting me mates on fire. FFXIV, if you'd be so kind. Bloody owls, aye, that's the fiend I saw. Just as we feared then. And this robe-clad man, do you have any idea why he attacked you? Well, lass, there's more than silver to be had from Nanawa. On a good day, we dig up our fair share of crystals as well. That seems to be what he was after. I'm not ashamed to say that I fled for me life once folks started going up in flames. But when I went back to sort out the mess, the cart what had the crystals in it was empty. He took them all? Aye, every single one. And that's all I've got to say about that. Hope you catch the bastard. Crystals. There was a crate of crystals on the list of goods stolen from the caravan. Must have taken everything else to conceal his intent. Our quarry grows careless or simply impatient. It is time I re-examine certain other incidents that we did not think related to this case. Meet me at the Hall of Flames, and we shall discuss the matter further. I can imagine only one reason why a man such as Tristan would seek to acquire a wealth of crystals. Come, Teru, let us not keep Captain... Alright. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. I inspected our incident records, paying close attention to cargo manifests that included crystals. We had attributed several recent raids to the Amaljar, but the victims were every one of them burned to death. Not entirely impossible considering the lizardman's affinity for fire, but to find not a single arrow or spear wound? Aye, 'tis highly unlikely. Mayhap I should state aloud what we are all thinking. Judging by the sheer number of crystals involved, we must assume that this villain intends to call forth a primal. After my encounter with Ifrit, I learned just how devastatingly powerful these entities can be, and I believe that summoners, the ability to harness such power, hold the potential to achieve great things. But if Tristan truly is mad enough to summon a primal, then that unthinkable act, and the bloody deeds he performed in preparation for it, will cause people to question the motives of all who practice the summoner's art. My studies of the tombstones revealed to me a tale of old elation. The summoners of Alagar were revered as heroes for their part in defeating the ancient primals. But this reverence slowly turned to revulsion as practitioners, intoxicated by their own immense power, began wielding the art of summoning as a means to further their own selfish ambitions. That is not to say, of course, that all summoners chose to become tyrants. Amongst the common people, however, it became a strongly held superstition that these who meddled in the powers of the primals ultimately fell into the race of evil. The superstition blossomed into outright terror, and that is when the mage hunt began. By the end of the third astral era, the last of the summoners had vanished from the stage of history. And should we allow Tristan to go through with his plans, then we risk a repeat of that tragedy. I will review the state of patrols on the crystal trade routes. We will catch them. Tiru, before I joined you at Nanawa Mines, I was able to recover another incantation that may prove useful in the coming days. Wield its power wisely. Yay! Can stop. Going in with a weaker kit. Alright, Alright, next quest. Dungeon Wolf is ready to go on the offensive. Greetings, Teru. Hope you are prepared to take action. Ever since we increased our presence on the trade routes, our black robe villain has ceased his attacks. Now it is our turn to go on the offensive. With the blessings of my superiors, I have arranged for a lightly guarded shipment of crystals, which we will lure Tristan into an ambush. Will we now? And I want you there when we spring the trap. I've already sent word to Yimhitra. He will meet us at Camp Blue Frog. Alright. Camp Blue Frog. Hiru, you're here. Good, our crystal couriers have just left camp. The plan is simple. The caravan will head towards the processing plant, but conveniently break an axle before reaching the east watchtower. We three will take up separate positions nearby and wait for Tristan to take the bait. I've had a driver complaining long and loudly about the lack of a suitable escort for his precious cargo, so we can be reasonably sure that an attack will come. I trust you need no further explanations. Get to your assigned position and do your best to keep out of sight. Let's go. Destination. Yeah, definitely not. Definitely out of sight here. Ah, it burns, it burns. Oh, it's him, and he's in the Ascian gear. Look. Oh, just destroying them. They're just so much higher level. Talk to me, soldier. I'll live, Captain. He popped right out of thin air. Took me by surprise. The same thing happened to me. Another man in dark robes stepped through some manner of portal and assailed me with spells. My position also came under attack, an underling judging by the ease with which I dispatched him. But I'd never before seen such teleportation magics. No, it cannot be. You know this man, Captain Wolf? This is Kehidden, Tristan's brother. But how? He was tempered, slain. And now both siblings have disappointed me. I should exercise more care in choosing my horns. Oh, the Ascian. Here he is. An Ascian. That voice. You were the one who taught Tristan the art of summoning. Have you come to inflict yet more misery upon the world? Tristan? Yes, that was the other's name. Of the 12th chalice. I had hoped to groom him. Granted him the knowledge of Elegant's mages, that he might unleash his wrath against the primals. Alas, he was all too easily vanquished. No matter. The bringer of light has proven a more than adequate replacement for my failed godslayer. With every primal you kill, the beastman's fervor grows ever hotter. It's so weird that his mask is black. And it also sort of makes him look a bit chubby with his chin there. His neck. The beastman's fervor grows ever hotter. We need but supply the tribes with crystals, and watch as they summon ever more terrible deity. When the confluence of chaos reaches its peak, the world shall be swallowed in darkness. Our master shall rise again. He's gone. And we should be gone as well. I shall see that my soldier is treated for his wounds, and await you outside the Hall of Flames. Alright. Plot thickens. I believe some reassessment is in order. We now know that the black-robed menace we thought to be Tristan was actually his brother, Kaladin, a reanimated puppet under the control of an Ascian. Both brothers were present at Ifrit's defeat. The Kaladin's aura, too, would have been stained with the Primal's essence, which, if I understand correctly, would explain his ability to command the Iggy. But for that Ascian to raise the lad's corpse and press him into service as his pet summoner, I shall see the Blackguard suffer for his cruel depravity. Aye, the Paragon has many crimes for which he must answer, but we must move with great caution. The power of these immortals is not to be underestimated. I will return to Gridania and redouble my efforts to decipher the remaining tombstones. We cannot face an Ascian unprepared. Quest complete. Red Worm Trance. Standard rune 3-2. Astral Impulse and Outburst to Astral Flare. That's really it. Okay. Ah, Teru. You've come for word on the Ascian. I fear I've little progress to report. We did, however, hold a service for Kaladin. I assembled the soldiers from his old unit, and together we conveyed his remains to the priests of Thal. As for Thanalan's trade routes, there's still the odd raid by bandits or beastmen, but naught that involves men in black robes. I must confess, I am at a loss for how we might track our foe. Fair enough. You're not used to dealing with Ascians. Ah, have you spoken with your Mitra? I believe she had new findings to share with you. Alright. Back to Gridania. Gridania. Dun 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 dun. Hiru, there you are. We have much to discuss. I've been engrossed in my studies, you see, seeking every advantage for our inevitable clash with the Ascian. And as I struggled to unravel the ancient knowledge of the tombstones, I unlocked a good many mysteries, including the reason why you were unable to call forth Ramu Igi. When you summon an avatar, you draw upon your body's reservoir of ether to grant life and form to what is known as an arcane entity. That much we already knew. I had, however, overlooked the simple fact that our etheric reserves are finite. Thus, the magnitude of Igi that you are able to summon is limited by the extent of your own life force. Simply put, if the Igi is too powerful, then the summoning fails. But do not despair. The summoners of Allegan devised a method by which one might circumvent this intrinsic limitation. Rather than attempt to summon a separate physical manifestation of certain Igi, the most accomplished mages discovered far less ether was required to infuse themselves with the essence of a primal's power. The technique by which a summoner would achieve this heightened state was known as a trance. That's cool that they're incorporating trance. Even if it's sort of just by namesake. What say you, Teru? Shall we see if you can master this method? It may even allow you to contend with a paragon, but not if the essence is of an ordinary primal. Nay, we must set our sights on the most potent entity, most fierce. I speak of the elder primal Bahamut. On the day of the calamity, the dragon vanished in an explosion so massive that his aether was carried to the far corners of Eorzea. You, among many others, have already been touched by his essence. All that remains to perform the meditative ritual in a place steeped in Bahamut's energies, and you should be able to enter the trance of the dread worm. As for setting foot within the only suitable location, I believe Captain Wolf can assist us. Shall we pay him a visit? Alright. Time to unlock the power of the dread worm. Yeah, Mitra here is certainly not one to do things by half. She petitioned me to help gain entry to the aether-soaked wasteland of the Katanu Flats. The flats are disputed territory jointly administered by the three-member nations of the Eorzean Alliance, and attempting to earn a full admittance to the area is a bureaucratic nightmare. As matters stand, I was only able to secure permission to visit the Mortal Flames airship land. If we wish to enter the flats proper, we will have to do so under the cover of night. Prepare yourself for a tense journey, then make your way to the landing here in Uldar. I have one of our elite flyers standing by. It's like, it's a bureaucratic nightmare. So I'm just gonna go ahead and we're just gonna sneak you in. Oh, you can just go back to the landing. That's cool. Didn't actually realize that. Alright. I fly you to the front door of the flats, but that is as far as you're authorized to go. Stay on the landing or face the consequence. Right. We're totally not gonna sneak down into the flats. This is the PvP area. This is the PvP map. What the heck? So this is what became of the Cartanu Flats. Never before have I sensed such tainted ether. I did not realize that this... I never paid attention to the name of this map. So I guess it's Cartanu. Let us not linger long, Teru. Turn your mind now to Bahamut's terrible majesty. Allow his power to seep into your very being. Bahamut. Nothing? You may need to deepen your meditations. Do you truly attempt to harness the might of Bahamut? The essence of the Elder Primal shall tear your mortal frame asunder. Chaos rises in the presence of power that you, bringer of light, can be allowed to shine no brighter. Come and be doused in the endless waters of the 12th chalice. So we're fighting the Ascian, eh? Well, we're doing like no damage to him. Thing I don't like about these sorts of fights where it's just like clearly like, oh, you're not strong enough to defeat him, so he's this giant sponge. That it's just usually so boring. Like the least they can do is just make it like mechanically heavy, so that you're doing a lot but not getting any progress, and so it just feels so at least it's interesting and it has that sense of helplessness. But then this is just like, oh yeah, okay, it's just time thing. I just sure I can barely hurt you, but you're not doing any real damage to us either, so we'll eventually whittle you down. look at this. I mean, you summoned effort. Oh, what? Lingering. Oh, there was something to actually interact with. I didn't even notice. See, I was. Oh, see, yeah, now he's summoned Garuda. Okay. Okay. See, I didn't even notice, like, that didn't even update or anything. I did. It's not been. Pocket of lingering ether. Okay, so they did say in the thing to do it, but I just, it was not obvious because I like how I was like, I just turned around and it's like, oh, there is something for me to do. There is a mechanic. I probably would have like just continued wailing on him. So, if I hadn't noticed that. What's it gonna summon now? Now that we've gone through the 3 infernals. Oh, all 3 of them. Right, that makes sense. Green ether. And that'll be this one. And possibly this. Duty complete. All right. I did not anticipate this. Like, going back to what I was saying, they should have made it so you don't get like further than like 1% damage on him. That he is actually like properly immortal. Because like I wasn't doing much damage, I was dealing damage. So I didn't think to look around where if you weren't doing any damage to him, then you think, okay, there's obviously something I'm missing. Let's look around, interact with that. That's how you do game design. That's how you design a fight like that. But oh well. We figured it out. You should not have been able to complete the meditations under such duress. But I shall not underestimate you again. Our next meeting shall be our last, bringer of light. We did it! We faced a paragon and lived. And it's all thanks to you, Teru. You and the towering might of Bahamut that you now command. Yes. Nod. Aye, despite the Ascian's interference, we achieved what we came here for. But I'm afraid this is not the place to celebrate. Let us return to the landing before the dawn's light finds us in forbidden territory. Surely a lot of people notice all like the Aether fighting and stuff going on. Alright. Find that there's no little thing there. Aether guard. We have reason to rejoice, my friends. It would seem our Palestine adventure went unnoticed by my superiors, and more importantly, we received the upper hand in a battle against an Ascian. The trance did appear most effective against our mortal foe. For such a hurried night's work, we managed to reap quite a harvest indeed. Aye, but it is a pity the bastard fled when he did. I would have liked to have settled the score then and there. It was for the best, Captain Wolf. If we would truly defeat the Ascian, then we must be prepared to destroy him utterly, body and soul. This whole thing, because we're dealing with an Ascian, feels like greater than it should be. Surely we won't actually fully defeat Trance Guide. Upon learning the trade, Trance Guide will dictate the remaining time of effects. While under its effects, rune upgraded. Each summon, when called forth, will tap into a respective arcanum. Grants you stacks of elemental attunement. 80 rounds. Augment gem shot. Yeah, I already know. That's oh, right. So it upgrades that. Right. I thought I was getting a new thing, but no. extra flow. Oh. So that's a spell that can be used while in extra flow. And the 220, yeah, which we won't be opening. Hiro, I was about to send for you. Yamitra should be here any moment. Ah, wonderful. We're all here. I've been pondering some metaphysical theories, and will discuss my conclusions with both of you. Ever since our battle on the flats, the memory of our adversary fleeing the field has been preying upon my mind. According to the Scions and their research, the Paragons are effectively immortal. They are said to be ethereal entities with no physical form of their own, instead possessing mortal hosts after mortal hosts in an endless procession down the ages. But once Teru had acquired the Dreadworm trance, the haste with which the Ascian withdrew did not seem to me the action of a being who harbours no fear of death. Thus do I pose the question, could it be that the 12th Chalice and his black masked brethren are not as practiced in the art of possession as their red veiled masters? At the time of the battle, our bodies were the only available hosts nearby. Assuming that he also lacks his superior's facility to flee to the space betwixt worlds, I suspect our foe's sudden cowardice stemmed from an inability to force his soul into our living vessels. That would explain much, including the reason why he chose the deceased Kahadin to serve as his puppet. I believe the theory is sound. Shall we put it to the test? If we are able to lure the 12th Chalice to a location devoid of potential hosts, then we might succeed in destroying him for good. Then what are we waiting for? We must begin devising a plan to draw the villain from hiding. Not so fast, Captain. We must first obtain the means by which we can ensure the Ascian's demise. Mighty coup de grace delivered before he has the chance to retreat. Hiru, there's a passage within the last tombstone that describes how the power of a trance can be unleashed in a single devastating blast. The technique itself, however, was not explained. According to my research, it can only be learned from a forbidden book found on the shelves of the Great Google Library. To reach the library will require a long, perilous journey over the Abalathia's spine and into the wilds of Dravania hinterlands. But I believe we three are up to the task. Shall we be on our way then? The key to defeating the 12th Chalice will soon be within our grasp. Dun, dun, dun. Bum 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 bum. Only be foot west. Oh. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. So it's been not so bad so far. I wonder what the Stormblood quest will be if we do actually defeat the Ascian here. I think it's cool that actually the Ascians are actually present in what is effectively a side story, just the MSQ. Even if it was just a minor Ascian. If it was just some bad, I do kind of feel like that if it was just some big bad like summoner guy and not actually an Ascian, that would make the quests a whole lot less interesting and not actually that good. And it's just being held up by the fact that it is an Ascian. And that's the only thing that's keeping my interest fighting this with the story. Now that we are all arrived, we can enter the library and begin our search for this forbidden tomb. Have you strayed far from the safety of the cities? Foolish mortals, whatever could you be planning? I'm here to just be a bad guy watching. Again? Always, he arrives at the worst possible moment. There's no coincidence, I fear. This time, he leaves naught to chance. Oh! Poor Ascians. Ascian of the 12th star. Was amusing at first to watch you stumble like clumsy children, but too insistent is your dabbling. Those who will not dance upon our palms shall be crushed within our fist. The 12th sword. No more shall we enjoy your blinding effulgence. There can be no rival to the encroaching darkness. Pinnacle. You have earned the heir of Laha Brea's most loyal servants. Oh, so they're servants of Laha Brea. That's interesting. Did you imagine the battle ended with our master's defeat? Stand now, bringer of light, and suffer the pain of our retribution. Would it not be wiser to retreat and seek the tome another day? They mean to afford us no such opportunity, my dear captain. Either we stand and fight, or we die. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, they're weapons. Oh my god. Oh, that, oh. Like, I was like, okay, yeah, these turn into, instant casts, alright. I get what they mean with the, summoner, but then that I was not expecting, I did not properly read this, what the abilities are, and to the trance turning into instance surprised me. Do I go maybe onto this? Maybe not. Thought I was being smart then. Oh, that was easy. There was some mechanics there that I didn't quite figure out or understand, but I beat it, so it was fine. How? We were raised unto greatness by Laha Brea himself. You defeated my master, bringer of light. Mayhap it is meet that your strength was beyond us, but the day will come. You'll not escape us this time, Ascian. Now, Teru, unleash your power. Oh. That's actually really cool with the monster I have on. Float down. It is done! The Paragon is no more! A most impressive spell, Teru. But when did you learn to cast it? Did we not first require the library's tomb? My apologies, Captain. But in order to deceive one's enemies, 'tis best to begin with one's friends. There was never any such book. All that Teru truly required was the catalyst of a battle to focus her energies. I knew that once the Ascian observed us traveling towards this library, he would assume we sought some long-buried wisdom. He could not risk leaving Teru free to gain even greater power. And so this entire journey was a feint, a trap to lure him into the wilds. Wow, you certainly had me fooled. Remind me never to cross wits with you, Yamahitra. I still don't know how to say her name. Dancing Wolf. Together we have achieved something of which few people can boast. The defeat of an Ascian. Never could I have accomplished this deed alone. Thanks to your actions, Tristan's case can also be put to rest. So we got rid of the... Ooh. I just thought of something. I'll say it once I've done this. Tristan's case can also be put to rest. Long have I been haunted by the horrors of that effort mission, but at last I feel a measure of peace. I will return to Uldar, and a gravestone for Tristan laid beside his brothers, and have a great gravestone. We may not have his bones, but it will be a place where the survivors from his unit can pay respects to the man he once was. I bid you farewell, my friends. May we meet again under happier circumstances. I just thought, so I was like, I wonder where the Stormblood quests will go if we defeat the Ascian, and we just defeated it now. What I'm hoping is a return to and I'll say this now before I complete this, because instantly tell me whether or not. Is a return to the characters from the Arcanist storyline, and because that ended really interesting with our mentor jumping off the ship and going in search to better herself, and so I really liked her character and would like her to come back, and that would be that would be really good and really interesting, but because like it's not really happened with any of the other jobs, a return to like the base class stuff, other than say Ninja, which of course was leader, but here's hoping. I too would extend to you my God. I too would extend to you my gratitude, Teru. In addition to untold slaughter, you have prevented Summoner's tragic history from repeating itself in a new age. We must take greater precautions against this ancient art falling into the wrong hands. I will continue to work alongside my colleagues in the Sons, and be sure that the spread of summoning is closely monitored. If only we could uncover a lasting solution to the primal predicament. There must be a way to break this self-perpetuating cycle of meeting force with force. As for myself, I shall continue my research into the primals and summoning, and offer the Scions whatever support I am able. That one was actually Scions. I am certain our paths shall cross again, Teru. Astral flow. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, power up. This concludes the Heavens War. Alright, where we're putting this will determine what it actually does, so to target enemy. Oh, that is strong. Crap, where am I gonna put that? Maybe we just put it there. So the idea is we wait for the cooldown to come back. Oh, whoops. I meant to do that. Then we go. Then we do that. Yeah, okay. I think that's probably the play. For now, at any rate. Or actually, Swiftcast doesn't actually need to be there. Maybe. Oh, yeah. Okay. I got it. We have that on 4. Swiftcast. What's Swiftcast? What's Swiftcast? That mouse. Alright. I think that's probably good enough. Anyway. We have our next... The Stormblood quest to start now. Which... appears to be talking with our summoner friend in Gridania. So... We could still see our... meet with our mentor from the Arcanist story, but this is a little less chance now. All right. That's the most fascinating news for us. Teru, I've had the most fascinating news. Would seem that the ruins of ancient Alaga have yielded to us a tome containing unknown secrets of the summoner's arts. Awesome. The tome in question is currently being kept under Rambro's watchful gaze at our dig site in Mordona. I'll be heading there shortly myself, but I would not begrudge you an earlier peek. Alright. Ah, I thought you might be along. Here, Teru. A prize such as this should be in your keeping. We uncovered it not terribly far from where we excavated the evoker's attire. I've judged the tome to be some manner of manual for summoning magic. But alas, I was unable to decipher the writings. It's fortunate then that such a task falls directly within the Mahitra's field of expertise. Speaking of which, would you mind taking the book to her yourself? She sent word that she had been held up by some dreary business in Revenant's Hole. Pray do be careful. Alright. Spin, 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 spin. Spinny, spin, 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 spin. Spin, 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 spin. Spinny, spin, spin. My apologies. A trifling but unavoidable matter prevented me from making directly for the dig site. Now, shall we take a closer look at this elegant tome? That just looks like a summoner's or arcanist book. Oh my, this rather more shabby than what I've come to expect from the great works of Alaga. But let's not be discouraged. The contents is what truly matters. A fine observation. Wow, I was not expecting this. Principia at your service. I am a humbly familiar with the doctrine of summoning. Have we awoken a sentient tome from some ancient library? Hiru, we must keep it contained. Have I somehow given offense? Strange, for I am not equipped with offensive capabilities. Imparting the art of summoning is my function. An instructional manual is my form. A manual, you say? Correct. When opened in the presence of summoners, I am bound to awaken and share with them the secrets of summoning. The young mistress there is in possession of an active soul crystal, yes? Was the soul crystal that awoke you? Correct. Only one who carries a soul crystal and has bathed in the aether of an icon may wield the powers of a summoner. I sensed one worthy of instruction and was thus compelled to introduce myself. Icon. That is the elegant word for primal. Excuse my need to clarify the obvious, but you are a construct created to teach summoning magics to any potential student you encounter? Why would the ancients have deemed such a thing necessary? Summoning came into being for the purpose of eliminating beings, specifically those beings known as icons, primals. Once these entities have all been vanquished, however, new Iggy cannot be harnessed. Old summoners perished, and so too does their art. It was upon glimpsing this bleak future that a certain master summoner set about crafting yours truly. Inscribed with the arts of tremendous power, I exist to teach others how to safeguard their existence. Fascinating. Your creation speaks to the heart of the disciple's rarity. Summoning harness the power of primals for the sole purpose of destroying them. New summoners arise only in an age when primals are rife. With the absence of living mentors, a true successor of the art is never achieved. Principia, are you then to instruct Teru in the lost secrets of Alaga? I am eager to oblige, but there are certain obligations. Ere the seal upon my higher knowledge can be unlocked, the student must first overcome the 3 challenges I am enthralled to present. Well, considering how it refers to primals as icons, I'm inclined to believe that we have an authentic Alagan relic on our hands. What say you, Teru? Will you undertake these challenges? That was an interesting response. The first challenge is a test of power. This trial is designed to evaluate the raw magnitude of your arcane talent by pitting you against a predetermined opponent. Opponent of careful measured fortitude, also known as I manifest the monster, you fight it. Mayhap not terribly wise to attempt that in the middle of town. Why don't we find ourselves a less populated area out near the singing shards? Alright. Bow. Oh. Alright, I'm ready. Shall we begin the test of power, mistress? Mistress, treat your pupil as a superior principia? Such was the way in which I was written. And if my full name begins to tire your tongue, you're welcome to call me Prin or Pia. Ooh, I rather like Prin. I mean, let us proceed with the challenge. Boom, boom, boom. I like how that has a recast time, but it's longer than you can be in the active state for, so it's pretty irrelevant. A crushing victory, Teru. Who could argue with the potential of modern summoning that after that display? You have bested the first challenge, mistress. There are few summoners in Allegan's long history who boasted this degree of native might. Okay. Furthermore, that you have achieved such potency through naught but the study of ancient wisdom is simply astonishing. With a little polish to your technique, guiding you to loftier heights of power should be astonishingly simple. I thought Teru's technique more than sufficiently polished, but you say there's room for improvement? I see we shall have to adjust our yardstick for perfection if we are to rival the practitioners of the past. Indeed. If you would know more of past practices, then you only need ask. Actually, I do have a question for you. If you indulge me, Teru. Friend, in which age were you crafted? You appear to lack the technological advancement that were predominant in constructs in the latter days of Allegan's civilization. Another excellent observation. I was pennied by Master Sari, a preeminent summoner of his time. He was, in fact, likely the last master summoner of the Allegan Empire's reign. Were I to date myself by your culture's notion of history, my creation would have taken place at a point just before the Empire's collapse. In other words, solidly within the richest era of chemical discovery. One might reasonably wonder why this wonderful science was excluded from my invention, and I assure you, there is a reason. In the beginning, the Allegans rose to superiority through their mastery of magecraft. It is told that the very first wielders of summoning magic made do with grimoires fashioned of leather and ink and parchment. There came a tipping point, however, when the mundane sciences began to progress with ever-growing rapidity. These advances were married with the arcane, and aerochemical technology was born. Even as the harnessing of lightning lightning energies gave rise to new recording mediums. Techniques were developed that allowed complex arcane geometries to be instantly plotted. Traditional grimoires were replaced by devastatingly efficient and elegant weapons. The convenience of these tools, however, did not lend themselves well to the instruction of initiates. Beyond such considerations, the new mediums could not be cannot be perused without dedicated machinery, and their manufacture was no simple matter. And so the summoner who breathed life into you decided that tomestones and the like were not the ideal method for passing his accumulated wisdom. Correct. He chose for me the primitive form of a book, and inscribed within my pages a bounty of potent incantations that require no machinery to cast. Thank you, Breen. I thought only to satisfy my academic curiosity, but I found myself swept up in your description of the past. You truly are the creation of an incredible age. And thank you for your patience, Teru. Shall we return to Gridania? Right. So it seems the Stormblood quest is just all going to be learning, doing trials for this book. This is a little bit of a letdown, considering the Heavensward one's all about us fighting an Ascian. Now it's just learning from a book. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, Dancing Wolf's here. Well done, Teru. We are one step closer to revealing a new secret of ancient Alaga. Bren will issue the next challenge after you have had a chance to review your studies and hone your abilities to a new level of perfection. I've decided to keep the familiar here at my side for the moment. Even with as many wonders as Eorzea holds, folk tend to panic at the sight of a faint tome that jumps around of its own accord. Oh, and pay no mind to Captain Wolf. He obviously wishes to secure my services for some task or another, but we have more important matters to attend to. It's like, I know, it's like, oh, Dancing Wolf says, it's like, oh, pay no mind to Captain Wolf. Pay no mind to him. Quest complete. Yep. We'll do right now. Wait, before that, I'm gonna talk to Captain Wolf. Teru, you've been well, I trust. I'm trying to bend Ymitra's ear, but she seems a little distracted. Not that I can blame her. Have you seen this hopping book? I'm fairly sure I caught a flash of teeth between those pages. Oh, I'm trying to click on her. There we go. Greetings, Teru. It would seem that Prin would speak with us about the second challenge. Congratulations, mistress. You are sufficiently prepared to undertake the next test. Excuse me, Prin, but how can you tell? By analyzing the patterns of Mistress ethereal emanations, I can gauge the strength and precision of her recently cast incantations. Of course, Mistress must attempt the challenge itself before I can provide an evaluation to the proper degree of accuracy. This will be a test of skill. To administer this trial under the prescribed conditions, however, I must request the assistance of several more summoners to play the role of antagonists. Several more summoners? In this day and age, that would be no easy feat to arrange. Come now, ENVTuber. The solution is right under your nose. Teru, your deeds has caught the attention of the highest echelons of the flames. After learning what you're capable of, we've begun to initiate to take our very own summoners into battle against the primals. A number of soldiers under my command have already begun intensive training. I handpicked veteran survivors of our expedition against Ifrit, and they've been issued with soul crystals reclaimed from the Ascians. Aye, and Captain Wolf has been howling in my ear for days, begging to enlist your aid as some kind of drill instructor for the ethereally gifted. But now you're in need of summoners for this trial of yours, yes? I'm prepared to offer my regiment's full cooperation. All I ask in return is a few morsels of advice for our acolytes. It would seem to me a fair trade, and my enhancements do not restrict me from instructing neophyte summoners in the fundamentals of the art. Very well. I suppose such an arrangement could prove convenient for us all. I knew you would come around. Meet me at Camp Blue Frog, and I'll assemble the troops for inspection. Okay. That's convenient. Otherwise, I don't know what we'll do. Being the only summoner around. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, they're wearing that gear. I forgot that was an outfit. Some decent service. Alright. Looks like we're all here. Let's get on with the briefing, shall we? As you command. This second challenge will evaluate your elegance of your technique as opposed to the magnitude of your miasma. First, I shall infuse the Iggy of your opponents with secondary enchantments, and then you are to engage the entities in combat. Friend explained to me the enhancements store the aether expended during the battle and allow for an in-depth analysis of your flare for death flares, as it were. In any case, I expect you'll pass with flying colors. Right, I suppose you should know who you're up against. Destination and rank. Summoner Crispin, Private First Class. We're grateful for what you can teach us, miss. Summoner Denise. Sergeant. I'm new to spellcasting, but I've seen my share of combat, miss. Captain and I... Crispin and I are to fight you as a pair. Summoner Jazasamu. Lieutenant. You've more than a few admirers in the barracks, Teru. Miss. But... that don't mean we'll go easy on you. Enough chatter. Quick, march to the training ground. Give your word to Crispin and Denise when you're ready to battle their Iggy, Teru. After that, you'll be facing off against the Lieutenant's beast. You won't be attacking my troops directly, so give it all you've got. Let's go. Oh. Prepare yourself, miss. Niece and I will now summon our servant to battle. A pair of FFXIV for you. Alright. One down. I'll cast this. And I fight him. Finish forming up on them embers then, because even together, me and mate C don't hold a candle to Inferno I can suck. That's big. Oh, that is a lot bigger. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to attack that. I had hopes for that one, but he sniffed him out real quick. Not much of a trial, eh? Well then, you're lucky I fought another primal during me time, the company of heroes. Aye, you're not the only summoner who can command more than one ethereal beastie. Say hello to your final opponent, Titan Iggy. Oh, also pretty big. I don't know why I did that. Kind of fear that those summons can have their ears out for longer than I can. I hope my summoners put up enough of a fight for you. Anyway, we shall hear what the books has to say. I've ruminated upon the swirls and echoes of your battle, and the picture is clear. Your technique is, without a doubt, a thing of exquisite beauty. Consider second challenge conquered. Well, that's good news, if hardly surprising. After all, you did sweep through those Iggy like a storm through a field of dandelions. Methinks you've opened my eyes. I see. I've some work to do before I've truly mastered this discipline. I'm glad to know we've been of service. Now, we really must be returning to Gridania. Thank you, miss. This was truly an enriching experience. Aye, pray train with us again in the future. There's hardly training. Or just me beating down some recruits. Congratulations, Teru. With your impressive demonstrations of power and skill, you've already conquered 2 of Prince's 3 challenges. Here we come to the final trial, however. Friend would further our education on elegant summoning. First, I would ask what you know of the rise and fall of summoning in the Elegant Empire. I was made to cover rather a lot of history, Yuan. From our research, we have learned that summoners were initially lauded as heroes for their success against the primals. When certain of these mages began to abuse the art's power for personal gain, however, the adoration of the populace shifted towards an oppressive hatred. Correct. We speak now of the latter half of the 3rd astral era. My creator, Master Sari, was one of those who expended his energies on the destruction of primals. Even as he fled from relentless persecution, alongside his disciples, he triumphed over Belias and many other lesser entities. Oh, Belias. Belias. That was the name of the outer primal from whom Tristan once drew power. Master Sari must have been mighty indeed to defeat such a foe. Yet he still knew fair. The thought that the grand discipline of summoning would fade into oblivion was more than Master Sari could bear, and so he sought to preserve its legacy, provide for his successors. My creator was well versed in astrochemistry and held a particular interest in the technology of information. Broadly speaking, he researched methods for producing arcane geometries without grimoires, and experimented with machine-enhanced Iggy. He even eventually abandoned both these technologies, deeming them unsuitable for the instruction of further generations, hoping to provide guidance to those summoners yet unborn. He instead began writing and enhancing a work that would survive down the ages. He made me. Such an accomplished personage. Why then have I seen but scant mention of his name in Allega's histories? As you have said yourself, it was an age when the alteration of summoners experienced an extreme reversal. It is likely that Master Sari's achievements were struck from the records, even as his loyal pupils were struck down in the streets. I was shut in a storeroom, abandoned to my slumber, like some common treatise on trade agreements in the southern provinces. Thus, I can tell you naught of what befell my creator in his later years. I expected a dry recital on the history of summoning, but you have shared with us your personal narrative. It is clear you hold a great deal of respect for Master Sari. I am a familiar. I simply relay information I was expelled. This lecture is now over. As you wish, Bryn. Like how that ended. I'm simply telling what I was inscribed with. This lecture is now over. Well, Teru, 'twould seem class is dismissed for the moment. I suggest you recuperate from the stage trial and look forward to preparing yourself for the final challenge. Bum, bum, bum. Before we do the next, I think I will be right back. Alright. We are back. Let us then continue. The time has come, Teru. Bryn is ready to administer the final trial. Yes, your third challenge is at hand, mistress. I shall be glad to at last share the wisdom that has long lain dormant in my pages. Thus far, we've had evaluations of raw power, refinement of skill. What then will this third challenge seek us to test? That I cannot tell you. Cannot or will not. I do not keep this detail from you for the sake of my own amusement. It must be a secret. Were you aware of the test's purpose, such knowledge would unfairly affect its outcome. What I can tell you, however, is that this trial requires conditions that are akin to an actual battlefield. As such, I must ask that you call fellow summoners to your side. And arrange a location where you might join hands against a most realistic primal threat. Well, this ought to be welcome news for Captain Wolf. I shall see if his acolytes are available. Greetings, this is Yamitra. Yamitra, of the Sons of Saint Coinage. I have a favor to ask. Well, Captain Wolf was more than eager to accept our request. He even offered to arrange exclusive use of a section of Seal Rock. We're going to another PvP map. It seems there will be an airship waiting in Uldar to fly us to the island. Shall we rendezvous at the landing once you are prepared then? This will be the final and most grueling challenge. Pray ready yourself, mistress. You are not reduced to so much gruel. Alright. Funny that we're going to yet again another PvP map. Ship landing. Let's go. I don't know about you, Teru, but my nerves are beginning to get the best of me. Captain Wolf and the others have already landed on Seal Rock, so let us not delay the challenge any further. Who could that be? Oh, Summoner Jaja Samu. How might I? Pardon? By whom? We? Lieutenant, can you hear me? Blast, the call was cut off. Teru, our immortal colleagues are under attack. The situation sounds dire indeed. All the summoners are crippled by injuries, and Captain Wolf alone fights to keep the foe at bay. Our planned battle has become rather more real than we anticipated. We'd best explain matters to the pilot and arrange a rescue party. Alright. Let's go. Ambush, you say? Understood. I'll put in a call for reinforcements, but my ship is ready to depart now if you are. Shall we go ahead? Yes. We're ready. Proceed. Well, he's gained his actual combat. I'll seal rocks over there. What others? You're right. I'll live. I think the others, we became separated. Wounds are not too serious. Come to your. Sorry. Oh, I can see them over there. They're for rock. Oh no, more ones spawned. And bigger ones. I realize I'm not actually getting. Oh fuck. Right. Okay. Bad. Others have located. Treat these at once. Friend, you apply pressure. You were completely outmatched. The captain threw them away. We shall tend to the injury. Go haste. Oh god. Alright. Off-center summoner, who the heck is this person? The potential has arrived. This is something that was... I'm just gonna call it now that this guy was summoned by the book, and he is his a shade of his master. I'm just calling that now, and this is the actual test. This is why he said he couldn't tell him, because we needed to be fighting this seriously. Who is this man? He's worse than Ascians. Very strong. Oh, I didn't get to that in time. Oh my god. Oh. Yay, we did it. That wasn't a bad trial. Pretty good. An anomalous potential confirmed. Commencing scan. Latent ethereal capacity immeasurable. Standard parameters exceeded. Reinitializing system. What? He wants to go another round? Master Sari? How have you come to be here? Ah, I knew it was Master Sari. I'm surprised that he is surprised by him. I thought this was part of his plan, but yeah. Master, surely you do not mean that, Sari. Ah, Prince Theopia, they have awoken you. This should suffice. What did you do to Bryn? The construct is unharmed. I simply added another layer of security. Do not disappoint me, Domina. I will be waiting. How odd. The way he vanished was almost as if... Cell's teeth, what was that all about? Bah, we'll discuss this back in Uldar after we've seen to the wounded. You arrived in the nick of time, Tiru. Thanks to you, my soldiers survived that ambush. They'll be fit for duty again after a bit of rest. Aye, you have our gratitude. If you hadn't plunged into the fray like that, we almost certainly would have perished. Ye said that bastard was Master Sari, didn't ye? A summoner of ancient Alaga? Did them mages have some way of coming back to life? Alright, Lieutenant, let's not jump to conclusions. Well, he was wielding summoning magics, unlike aught we've ever seen before. Maybe Prin has some idea. I'll be sure to ask. Come, Teru, let us return to Gridania. Alright. That book's got a lot to answer for. Boom, 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 boom. Dun, 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 dun. Well, what was meant to be Teru's final trial was certainly testing, to say the least. Tell me, friend, what makes you so sure that was Master Sari? Based upon the evidence at hand, there can be no doubt the vocal and ethereal signatures were identical to those exhibited by my creator. The only aspect that gives me pause is his behavior. Master Sari was never one to offer harm to others with such callous indifference. I would say there is a larger inconsistency to consider here. Friend, your creator supposedly died several thousand years ago. There is one other possibility. The greatest minds of Alaga unlocked a science known as cloning, by which they would artificially create a replicant of a living being. Steel Rock is, after all, a construction of the Alagan Empire. Assuming the individual you battled was indeed a clone of Master Sari, then my senses would recognize no appreciable difference. Interesting. An exact copy of the original person? It would explain much. But the very short thought of it is horrifying. Well, not just Alagan, also the Galleons have that thing away. Well, or did at least. Or Dalk, his clones. Oh, and did he not tamper with your enchantments? Are you truly unharmed? My facilities are undimmed, but the wisdom I was to impart to Mistress has been sealed behind an arcane lock. I can do nothing. Only my creator holds the key. Then your secrets are lost to us. If only Teru had been able to attempt that third challenge. Attempt? Mistress has already passed it. Allow me to explain. The third challenge is a test of the summoner's nature. Thus does the trial require the presence of companions and a realistic threat. Master Sari's ambush did, of course, bring an unexpected dimension to proceedings. Yet, Mistress leapt to the aid of her fellow summoners without hesitation, and braved considerable danger to see that they were safely rescued. Selfless acts that more than qualify Mistress as a worthy successor. I had wondered why power and skill were not sufficient. Sari wished to see his teachings passed on to summoners of noble heart. Correct. He could not contents the idea that such knowledge might be put to evil ends. Now you understand why his display of violence so confused me. Aye, and all the more reason to suspect an impostor. But whatever this man's identity may be, we will track him down, make him remove that seal. Your purpose is too important. And I will assist you in any way I can. Master Sari that made me would not stand to see his memory profaned with such wickedness. Well said, Prin. For an enchantment stack of ink and parchment, you have an impressible developed moral compass. I possess neither morals nor a compass. I merely follow my inspelled directions to guide worthy summoners. If I gave the impression of such characteristics, then mayhap I am overstepping my bounds as a familiar. No, you're fine, Bryn. Forget I mentioned it. I will see if I can unearth. This is sort of like the whole like robot trope and stuff. I will see if I can unearth more detailed records of Master Sari. Mayhap the story of his later life will aid us in unraveling this present mystery. Alright. Dun, dun, dun. Gonna need to do some grinding. I searched through the usual histories, but found scant mention of Sari. As Prin had said, records of his existence have all been expunged. And since my own knowledge is limited to the day... Yeah, he actually, lastly. I didn't expect it to go this late, but it has. And since my own knowledge is limited to the day I was stored away, we must rely on those lost Allegan records that escaped the purge. My colleagues, Rambros, may be able to help us there. Hardly a day goes past when his team does not lift some forgotten treasure from the ruins in Mordona. Shall we pay him a visit? By queue now, I might be able to get into the very first one. Oh, it's already at 5 men? Okay. Maybe it started earlier. Alright. The Madonna. The Mitra has informed me of your search, and I shall be certain to contact you should we discover any more mentions of Sari. May be a swift way for your information you seek. Know of a certain merchant who collects undeciphered tombstones with even greater zeal than the sons of Saint Coinage. Ah, you speak of Rowan. Aye, we have formed something of a symbolic relationship with her consortium. In return for financing your excavations, we provide... Ah, damn. Alright, PvP time. Not too sure how much XP I'll get from this. I need 1.5 mil, roughly. Oh, they have the New Island Sanctuary hunt already. They must have grinded the mountaintop to get that. Taking a more lax approach to my one. Wait, we're fighting yellow over the... God damn it. God damn that. Making this is too aware. I don't think we're gonna do. How did I? What pushed me there? Like a drag. Interrupted who? That is so annoying. How did that not interrupt him? What the hell? I already think that yeah, this is a hard loss. Our team's not coordinated in any way. Gonna run around. ninja, go. Go. Playing watching people come up back here in it. Realize that you're not actually fighting. Either they think easy kill or they win this. No, I don't want to. Jump. Yeah, go fight. Well, my team's actually caught up. I don't know if that means I should be fighting more now or there was a moment where it seemed like we were completely out of it. Well, we actually have a chance to win now. I tried to come in and just sneak. Alright. 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 Try to come in and sneak it. Wild. So I honestly thought it would be over. It's been so long since I've played as ninja front lines, or in PvP in general. Don't really know how to play it in other than the spectator mode. Going for that. It's still very much in it, but it's now turned into anyone's. Oh, let's get out of here. Yellow's gonna grab that. Yellow might actually win this now. Bit hard on that rather than try to claim that. I think we're out of it again. Hey, let's give that. Oh, didn't get it. Time to give accommodation. Oh, yeah, we should level up with the quest now. If not, we can just easily do kill something and level up. Let's go. That worked out perfectly. Yamita has informed me of the. Oh yeah. Ruin. Alright, we have formed something of a symbiotic relationship with her consortium. In return for financing our excavations, we provide Verona with a selection of our finds. I'm sure you would find her amenable to a request for assistance. After all, you would merely need to borrow her tombstones for a time, yes? Here, I've pennied a letter with my personal reassurances that her stock will be returned, none the worse for wear. Alright. Speak with Ruin. Alright. Hi, what can I do for you? So, you're the backing of old Rambros, eh? Well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to lend you some of my tombstones. In fact, I'll do you one better. I'll let you borrow the transcripts courtesy of the scribes at the ironwork. As books, they're damn sight heavier, but you don't need fancy machines when all penned down in ink and parchment. Give me a summary of the contents when you finish, and I'll consider that as payment. Collectors part with more coin if they know what they're getting, and my time's too precious to waste on reading ancient history. Consider it a deal, Rowena. Thank you. Well, Teru, shall we get to work? Yeah, let's read books. That's why I chose the summoner side instead of the scholar side, so that I could read books. Oh, fancy that. I've barely begun skimming the very first volume. Here are already some promising passages. Let us wake Prin and share our findings, shall we? Oh, that's fortunate. Ah, Ram Rose, have you come back to check on our progress? This charming tome is Prince Apia, a sentient familiar of ancient Alaga. Pleased to meet you, Master Ambrose. Pray call me Prin if you prefer. Thank you, Prin. And might I say, what a privilege it is to meet such a rare and clever construct. Clever. Well, yes, apparently Prin was written written that way. In fact, we were just hoping to hear the opinion on a raw snippet of information I've uncovered. Was an order listed in the record of Imperial military communications, demanding that the fruits of the Master Summoner's research be seized. It appears that the army had more than a passing interest in Sari's experiments. What exactly was the purpose of this research? Master Sari toiled to wed summoning magics with aerochemical technology. For example, he experimented with replacing grimoires with mechanical mediums, and sought to manifest Egi of greater authenticity by utilizing high-speed computations. Simply put, he turned to machines to enhance traditional summoning methods. Is that the gist of it? Correct, but Master Sari was never one to abuse the success of his experiments, no matter how they magnified his power. He would not place his trust in machines. Their inherently complex nature was too prone to error, he said. The dates on these communications indicate a time in the latter half of Sari's life. Is it possible something could have occurred between crafting you and the execution of this order that may have greatly altered the summoner's outlook? It was, of course, the violent wave of anti-summoner sentiment that swept through Alaga. It claimed the lives of many of Master Sari's disciples. Following their deaths, he began spending much of his time cloistered within his laboratory. Such an incident could certainly be responsible for changing a man. And Prince Sapir, you were unaware of the subsequent events once you fell into slumber, yes? From what we've learned so far, it is safe to say that the foe we encountered is related to Sari's research in some way. And there are likely more clues buried in these records. I shall speak with Captain Wolf and ask to borrow the sharp minds of his summoner squad. It is a rather intimidating pile to tackle now. Well, seeing as you have the transcript, there's no need to travel far. You are welcome to make use of my tent and the reference material on Alaga found therein. That would be enormous help, thank you. Let's haul these books to the dig site, shall we? Pretty sure there's better residents around here than at frickin' dig site. Oh, got this pretty hideous. Our summoner colleagues arrived with swiftness after I relayed to them our request. It is well to see them recovered from their injuries. With everyone pitching in, we stand a good chance of finding something useful. Ah, here's the bug I was looking for. This is a record when the military finally caught up with Sari. It says here the summoner was found dead. Killed by someone else. Then we have proof of the original Sari's demise in the third astral era. Now there remains the question of who or what attacked us in this age. My coin is on one of those clone creations. Is there aught more to the story, Lieutenant? Aye, it goes on to describe how the Imperial Army took over Sari's research. Stored in his experiments as exceptionally dangerous, but ripe with potential applications. They shifted operations to an artificial island soon after and began practical testing. One cataclysmic accident later, though, and that was the end of that. This artificial island must be a reference to Seal Rock, the very site of our encounter with present-day Sari. During the battle, my creator's simulacrum exhibited the ability to summon multiple Eggies simultaneously, as well as manifest highly authentic facsimiles of flesh and blood entities. The basis for every one of these unorthodox techniques can be traced back to Master Sari's research into machine-enhanced summoning. I'd say we have enough evidence to support a working theory, then. Namely that Alagan military was using a clone of the deceased Sari to perform hazardous experiments. Tests which explored the feasibility of chemically bolstered summoning magics. When we landed on Seal Rock, we must have somehow awoken the remnants of those experiments. Perhaps we have solved the mystery of who the attacker was. But now, I would know the place where he fled. What refuge exists for such a being? What I can gather, the results of Sari's work were bundled off to some secret laboratory called the Aerochemical Research Facility. Oh, of course. You know of this place, miss? Is it far? Yeah. Ezri's Leah? That's where they're keeping Sari's research, and it's possible the clone may have headed there. Our squad will fly back to Seal Rock and make further investigations. Relics of the past may hold some hint we haven't yet considered. An excellent idea, thank you. We shall return to Gridania for the time being. Of course, it all comes back to the research. Now, this won't immediately get me, but I could possibly just go do like a single fate. Well, not. Yeah, single fate. Open a trial. Trial should. I received an update from Captain Wolf regarding their investigations on Seal Rock, which seem a certain elegant relics have shown signs of recent activation. The mechanisms were too heavily damaged to offer more in the way of useful information, however. I fear we must brave this Azalea facility and search for Sari ourselves. Is that what he was hoping for when he said, "I'll be waiting"? It is possible. I did not think the detail important at the time, but the lock engaged by Master Sari's simulacrum was not of the strictest tear. Rather, the seal is one which fades upon the sealer's demise. And he was goading us into finding and defeating him? Another challenge? Or is it simply a trap? I am not fond of rushing into the unknowns. Rid yourself for the worst, Teru. I will learn the present circumstances of this research facility. Oof. Yep. There was empty needed for the next. Which I just need to I'll queue for a trial. It's essentially 25,000. I could possibly do in a fate. Trial could be. It involves teleporting away. Trial could be done in 5 minutes. Alright. I think we just go here and try our hand at a fate. Still 51. Alright. We don't want here, we want Vanya probably actually. That'll probably be the best place. boss. If I can kill it in time. Why am I doing fates here? I'd want to do fates Stormblood area. Let's try this. Okay. Oh, I don't have. Oh god, I'm gonna get hit by that. Oh my god. Oh. I got out of range. Desynced. But then trial popped. So we do trial. Should have just stayed in Gridania. Oh, easy one. This should be quick. I said nice fast one. I forgot how long the cutscene is. Bum 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 bum. Boom, boom, boom. I should have waited. I wanted it to be when I was crouched. Don't really know the timing properly enough. I realised I seem to be in cleave zone then. Oh fuck. GG. Give it to the Dragoon who can leave. Alright. Now we can go back to Gridania. Never needed to leave it. Upgrade all our gear as well. Portrait's fine. Should be fine. Oh no, I got a new book. Oh. Alright. Like I said when I first picked up Summoner, I'm gonna be finishing the quests before I can even got a on the side. Didn't even know. I'll be finishing the glamour not when I complete the quests. So the end of the quest line won't have me with my final glamour form, which is kind of sad. That's why it's level 80 gear. But I'll throw on stream at some point when I eventually get it. Of course. Bahamut door. Oh wait, so you summon Bahamut at the start? That's crazy. I've learned all there is to be learned about the research facility. The time has come to make our move. From what my sister and her colleagues have told me, the laboratories are housed in an extremely dangerous quadrant of Ascian's lair. We'll not want to wander around inviting trouble, but rather plot the swiftest and safest route to our destination. There should be a terminal somewhere that will allow us to pinpoint the section where Sari's research is being stored. Once we arrive in Ascian's lair, finding such a terminal will be our highest priority. I've informed Captain Wolf of our forthcoming expedition. He insisted that he and his summoner squad provide us with support. Let us make ready and meet them at Helix. Alright. I normally teleport here and then immediately fly up. How long has it been around here? As is, they are even more fantastical than I'd imagined. But we mustn't let ourselves be distracted by the scenery. We should fan out and search for a control panel of some description. And we can use that to plan the simplest route to our objective, yes? Aye, Then we plunge ahead, swift and sure, bring an end to this bastard clone. That is my intention. It is important to note, however, that we have yet to determine if our enemy is truly a clone or not. Even an artificial copy would appear as a living, breathing being. Man you fought on Seal Rocks seemed almost otherworldly. I'm inclined to agree with you, Peter. But no matter what he is, we need to slay him to lift Prince Seal. The job remains the same. True enough. And we should first focus on finding that terminal. Hiru, if you would pray search around the base of Warrior Triad statues. Keep your guard up, as Sari knows we're coming. He may have prepared a welcome. Alright. All the way up. This is what I normally do. There's only one frickin' Aetherite. Huge area. I don't think they've ever made that mistake again. Even Ultima Thule, which is like the same size as 3 Aetherite spread across it. There we go. Hostile presence. I predicted you would be the first to find me. Unless a summoner would have been slain. Hiru. Sari's clone, it's here. Clone? Ah, you seek to explain my existence. An understandable theory, but I am far more than one of those clumsy creations. You had best abandon this flawed perception, lest it lead you down the path to failure. I shall await you inside, potential. You will pass my test, your true final challenge, or you will die never knowing what I truly am. He's probably an primal icon himself that he created of himself. Sal's teeth. He's gone again. Did you see that, Teru? The way he vanished? It is akin to the dismissal of a summoned entity. So you're saying he's some sort of Iggy? One what's wearing Sari's face? But how can he look so solid and, well, alive? With the aid of a computational machine, it would be theoretically possible to reconstruct Aether into a near-perfect replica of Sari's corporeal form. He was summoned using a machine? Correct. Master Sari's research developed mechanical substitutes for grimoires. In fact, the lieutenant is standing right in front of one. This thing, eh? It looks a bit more like tomb lifts on, like them tomb lifts on Steel Rock. Only they was much bigger. Gods. Can the bugger pop up anywhere there's one of these devices? I think we can safely assume that this Sari is the product of enhanced summoning magic. But our answer leaves us with yet another question. If Sari is the Eggy, then who is the summoner? Even if the grimoire is replaced by a machine, there must still exist the one who commands it. Got to find the master then. If we don't squash the summoner, the bastard will just bring the Sari Iggy back again and 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 again again and again and again and again. Whomever the bastard may be, he or she must be concealed somewhere nearby. Entity will always be summoned within a certain distance of the summoner. Even machine-enhanced techniques cannot circumvent this basic principle. That our antagonist chose not to make an appearance on Steel Rock suggests a reluctance to expose oneself to direct harm. This location, however, with so many computational devices near to hand, I expect the foe's art will be significantly bolstered. So the Eggy will be even stronger than last time? All the more reason to take down the summoner quickly before we're swamped by ethereal horrors. Well, I've bought a little device that should help, an etherometer. I borrowed from my sister, Tola. If I can detect the right currents, it should lead us straight to... Wait, these are Stolas? Of course, because the Y. If I can detect the right currents, it should lead us straight to our hidden enemy. Excellent, Yamita. That may make all the difference. Right. Let's be about this thing. Summoner squad, take the van and clear the way forward. Aye, we've been waiting for the chance to prove ourselves. We just focus on finding the summoner and we'll sweep aside the dregs. Alright, ready for round 2, Teru? The terminal has provided us with a direct route to the research storage chamber. Gonna rip through this facility and take Sari's clone apart. It is an ethereal entity, Captain Wolf, not a clone. And I must point out that your true objective is the summoner rather than the servant. Right, I knew that. As we planned then. Summoner squad, front and center. Carve Teru a path through. Aye, Captain. Yeah, Mitra, you're in charge of finding whoever's pulling this imposter Sari's strings. Let's go. Alright. Wonderful. You've done well to make it this far. Summoner has to be around here somewhere. Dimitra, use your gadget. I'll buy you some time. We came here to remove the seal you put on Principal. Do as we asked. This can all end peacefully. I'm sorry, Captain. I'm afraid I can't do that. To do so would run contrary to the purpose of which I was created. Surely by now you have come to realize my true nature. You are an Eggy in the form of my creator, an existence made possible through a fusion of summoning magic and ethereal chemical technology. But while Master Sari was the last of the great summoners of Alagar, you are naught more than an elaborate imitation. You are no match for the summoner who now stands before you. Very good, but your conjecture has missed the mark. What I am is a defense mechanism that is capable of self-enhancement in order to combat ever greater threats. So I phrase this in simple terms. In the event that I encounter a presence with greater potential than Sari, I am compelled to harness that potential through main force and compose its aether into a new guardian entity. You mean to kill Teru and make an Eggy of the Warrior of Light? Have we reached an understanding? A peaceable conclusion to this encounter was never forthcoming. His reasoning has broken down. Your deeds have saved countless lives, and you will continue to do so. How can one justify killing you, Mistress? Mistress, when you embody the very principles of which summoning magic was invented. Yamitra, any luck finding that summoner? I've just finished tracing the threads. The camouflage is impressive, but I am still shocked that we missed something of that size. A true enemy is up there! Oh, that's why we had that viewpoint before. How observant of you. You have uncovered Master Summoner Sari's greatest masterpiece, an artificial sentient invocation matrix. Second, Sari. The complexity of my design simply cannot be compared to the primitive principles used in Prince Sophia's construction. Oh no, third Sari! Your defeat is inevitable. A fourth Sari? No, just a third Sari. Alright. Tough talk for an aging machine whose logic channels has obviously rusted with disuse. Mistress, might you and your companions dispose of this unsightly and unseemly amalgamation of refuse? Oh, this music. Oh, I gotta turn this up. Wait guys, wait guys. Oh. Oh, they're super weak. I wasn't expecting them to be that weak. glad they used this track for this. The actual fight is pretty standard, but it's cool nonetheless, especially with the music. This track. Can I not? Oh, we can't. We can. Am I supposed to? I don't know what I should be charged in here. Yeah. Okay. No. Could have died, you mistress. I suggest we now exit this unpleasant place. Okay. Lower the volume back down a bit. Alright. A stunning victory, Tiru. We've won the day, but Captain Wolf wished to stay behind and conduct a thorough search. I told him it was still too dangerous to wander around alone, but Captain is a stubborn man. Not to worry though. If aught should happen, we'll soon charge off to fight at his side. Captain Wolf will call if he needs us. Aye. We should be celebrating here. Does this not mean Prin's seal is now broken? Mistress' success is indeed something to be celebrated. I was not crafted to experience emotion, but I do feel a certain rustle of satisfaction in my pages. Once you've mastered them high and mighty techniques, you'll be stronger than ever. Well, I think I'd rather learn by your example anyway, instead of from nasty scrolls written by some long-dead Alligan summoner. It is in hopes of achieving just such an outcome that I awoke from my slumber. The art of summoning is for the living, as my creator was once so fond of declaring. Tiru, Bryn, let us farewell for the moment. Thank you for your aid, everyone. We could not have done this without you. Dun, dun, dun. Alright. Here we are, finishing the quest. 12 quests. What the hell is this? Oh. Quite a long one. I was expecting it to only be 2 hours max, but I guess it was much longer than I anticipated. All good, we got a good decent night's stream out of this. Finally saying goodbye, tag team. Welcome back, Tiru. You were only meant to face 3 challenges. We ended up chasing your prize into the heavens themselves. An unexpected development, which you handled with exceptional grace, mistress. And now, at long last, I can finally bequeath you to the highest secrets of summoning. Pray step forward. Whoa. What a monumentous occasion. The wisdom of the last elegance master summoners is yours. Ere you depart to explore your newfound powers, however, Captain Wolf has a report for us. It should explain much of what occurred on Az's lair. Aye, well, I wanted to be sure that machine was truly undone. After poking around inside it, I discovered a number of soul crystals. According to Prince Sapir, they belong to Sari's disciples. The captain also unearthed a tombstone containing undoctored records of their age. It would seem that following the murder of his student, Sari became increasingly bitter. He began to doubt the future could be safely entrusted to the capricious whims of mortals, and instead he explored other methods by which new generations might be safeguarded the threat of primals. He committed himself to aether chemical research. As you may have summarized, the invocation matrix was the end result of Master Sari's toil. Drawing on its embedded soul crystals and unrivaled computational power, this terrible invention was capable of manifesting a veritable host of... Something fell and... I have no idea what fell, but something fell in my room. Host of ethereal avatars. I'll check it out later. Once he was satisfied with his work, Sari commanded the machine to act as civilization's mightiest guardian, and then he killed himself. His ethereal essence was absorbed, and a formidable Iggy was added to his invention's arsenal. So now you know the truth of it. What a price to pay to ensure that the art of summoning survived until the morrow. After failing to protect his disciples, I wonder if he meant to preserve their soul crystals in their stead. Even if that was his intention, he chose the wrong way to achieve it. Britain, here's the embodiment of the hopeful ideas of of Sari's younger self. The murderous machine of his latter years is a product of frustration and anger and grief. But what shall we do with the crystals? We cannot risk them falling into the hands of another villain like Tristan. If you wish, I could swallow the crystals and hold safe until another era has need of them. My enchantment would ensure that they pass only into the hands of the worthy. Swallow? You mean eat them? Fear not, Captain. I have no digestive tract of which to speak. And now that I have instructed Mistress of the Wisdom of Alaga, this task shall be the last I perform ere I return to slumber. Wait, so this is farewell? Correct, or mayhap more appropriately, good night. As a familiar, I was not inspelled to experience loneliness. I was, however, written with the knowledge that it is best not to draw out a parting of ways with needless sentimentality. No tears for you then, eh, Prin? Summoning magic was created to combat the threat of primals. The ideal world is one in which I need never again awaken. Wield the art well, mistress. Oh, he's just a book now. It's so much smaller. Off to dreamland, just like that. I suppose Prin's purpose is served. And that's the same as happiness to familiar. Speaking of serving one's purpose, I think it's time I took my leave. Aye, tasks of morrow beckon to us all. Let us do what we may, so that Prin might rest peacefully for many years to come. Quest complete. We are done. Good job, Chris. This concludes Stormblood. Second to best. Oh, there's the level 80 quest. Okay, all jobs have. But I still haven't done that for the other ones. I think what I'm gonna do is probably do a stream and just do a bunch of ones that I'm missing, because I believe if we go New Game Plus, you can see main quest, Gladiator, Predator. Oh, what did I? Sorry, I haven't done that. I haven't done Dark Knight. Picked up Gunbreak. Done for White Mage. Haven't done Astrolobe. Sage does this dollar when I pick it up. Haven't done it for Monk. Done it for Ninja though. Was great. Haven't done it for Samurai, or Art, or Bard, or Machinist, or Black Maids, or there's so many actually. My god. Yeah. But in terms of job quests, that was pretty good. Obviously it does not even compare at all to like the Dark Knight and Ninja quests. But like most of the Realm Reborn ones, the class quest, pretty solid. It was decent. It was interesting. The first Realm Reborn job, better than I expected. Because like, but that's got a very low bar with like the Paladin one just being absolutely terrible. Monk one being very meh. But for the most part of the Realm Reborn and the Heavensward segment, it was mainly carried by the fact that we were dealing with an Ascian, which was interesting. If it weren't for that fact, then it probably would be still better than the Paladin one, but barely. I kind of sad that we didn't see any more of our mentor from the Arcanist Guild. Hopefully they turn up during the Scholar quest line, maybe, which we'll be doing at a later date. But all in all, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't outstanding at all. It was fun. It was interesting. And killed Bahamut. Orders Bahamut to execute Akmon. Oh my god. Where do we put? Where the heck do we put that? Maybe we put that there. Maybe like that. Oh, this is so. I think that's good. Got so much we need to work on the abilities, and we've got more to come. We're only level 70, but overall that was great. I'm probably gonna end there for the stream, so hopefully you enjoyed me playing through Summoner. I will probably be doing a stream Because that took 3. Oh my god. So I might not be able to do all of Scholar in one go like I was planning. Maybe I will. That might end up being like a 5-hour stream. I might do that this Saturday. I have plenty of time on a Saturday to do a long stream. So yeah, so I might do Scholar on Saturday. We will see. I need to figure out a glamour for it. So I have ideas, but we'll need to suss that out. So look for that. So potentially that. Tomorrow's stream I'll be playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Because the new pack will be out. And we'll be playing a new Kashtera Rise Art, hopefully, if we pull it. Oh no, we can craft it. We have enough gems. So, but once again, thanks for tuning in. And until next time, bye bye.